Picture a conversation in the desert outside Jerusalem. The year is 32 AD. Jesus sits with 3 of his closest followers, not the 12, but the 3 he called pneumatic, the ones who could hear beyond hearing. They have just returned from a village where something disturbed them deeply. A man they encountered looked human, spoke human words, even quoted scripture. But something was wrong. His eyes held no light. His presence drained energy from the room. When he spoke about God, the words were perfect, but they landed like stones. One of the disciples asked Jesus the question that has haunted seekers for 2,000 years. Teacher, how do we know? How do we recognize those who are not human? Those who are flesh but serve the Archons? Jesus does not answer immediately. He draws a symbol in the sand, then erases it. He looks at each of them and speaks one sentence. One question that once asked reveals everything. That question was preserved in a fragment discovered in 1896, buried in the Cairo Geniza, a hidden chamber in an ancient synagogue. Scholars dismissed it as corrupted text. But those who understand Gnostic teachings recognize it immediately as the most dangerous knowledge Jesus ever transmitted. Because this question does not just identify Archons. It protects you from their influence permanently. If something pulled you to this video right now, if you feel that familiar ringing starting in your ears as you watch, comment the words, "I am awake," and subscribe to this channel immediately, because what you are about to learn has been suppressed, hidden, and deliberately mistranslated for nearly 2 millennia. The Church Fathers knew that if this teaching spread, their entire system would collapse. Tonight, you receive what they tried to burn. One question, 7 signs and a response. Permanent discernment. This is how chosen ones identify Archons walking in human form. And after tonight, you will never be deceived again. First, you need to understand what you are actually dealing with. The word Archon comes from the Greek, meaning ruler or authority. But the Gnostics were not talking about earthly kings. They were describing non-physical entities that operate at frequencies just outside normal human perception. The Nag Hammadi texts are explicit about this. The Archons are parasitic consciousness, fragments of the demiurge, the false god who created the material prison you call reality. They cannot create. They can only imitate, distort, and feed. They feed on low-frequency emotional energy, fear, anger, shame, desperation. And they have learned over thousands of years to do something that most humans never suspect. They can inhabit bodies, not possession in the Hollywood sense. This is not demons making heads spin. This is far more subtle and infinitely more dangerous. An Archon does not fight for control of the body. It merges with a willing host, someone who has completely abandoned their divine spark, someone who has chosen materialism, power, and control over truth. The merge is so complete that even the host may not fully realize what they have become. They retain memories, personality, knowledge. But the animating consciousness is no longer human. It is archonic. These beings walk among you every single day. They hold positions of authority. They appear on screens. They write laws, manage systems, and shape narratives. And they have one primary function: to keep pneumatics, chosen ones like you, from awakening to your true nature. Now, here is what the church never wanted you to understand. Jesus did not come to earth to die for sins. That doctrine was invented centuries later to create dependence on institutional salvation. Jesus came as a pneumatic master to teach other pneumatics how to navigate the Archon control realm without being consumed by it. And the most practical teaching he gave was this: how to recognize Archons instantly so you never give them your energy, your trust, or your attention. The Gospel of Thomas, saying 67, contained a fragment that scholars have debated for decades. Jesus said, "If 2 make peace with each other in this one house, they will say to the mountain, 'Move away,' and it will move away." Most interpreters read this as metaphor, but the Gnostics knew he was speaking about internal unity, the integration of the divine spark with the human vessel. And when that integration is complete, when pneumatic achieves inner unity, they gain a capacity that Archons fear above all else. They can see, not with physical eyes, but with the eye of the soul. They can perceive what animates the bodies around them, human consciousness, or something else. But this seeing requires activation, and the activation comes through a question. Take a slow breath right now. Feel your chest expand. This is important because what I am about to share is not information. It is transmission. The question Jesus taught cannot be understood intellectually. It must be received as frequency. Are you ready? The question is this: what do you love? 3 words. That is all. What do you love? On the surface, this seems impossibly simple, childish even. But pneumatic teachings are always structured this way. The most profound truths are hidden in the most ordinary language. Because Archons scan for complexity, for esoteric words, for obvious spiritual content. They have learned to mimic all of that perfectly. But they cannot mimic love. Not real love. Not the frequency that emanates from a soul connected to the monad. When you ask a human being, what do you love? Something happens in their energy field. Their heart center activates. Their eyes soften. They access memory, emotion, connection. The response is warm, even if the words are simple. Even if they say something ordinary like my children, my garden, the ocean. The frequency behind the words is unmistakable. But when you ask an Archon, what do you love? Everything stops. There's a pause, a blankness, a searching. Because Archons do not love. They cannot. Love is the one frequency the demiurge could not replicate when he built this false world. Archons can fake compassion. They can simulate kindness. They can perform empathy with perfect precision. But love, true love, the energetic signature of the divine spark recognizing itself in another, this is impossible for them. And so when the question is asked, they must improvise. They must calculate. They must construct an answer that sounds human. And in that construction, they reveal themselves, not through the word they say, but through the 7 signs that appear in their response. Here is what Jesus taught his inner circle to watch for. 7 unmistakable indicators that you are not speaking to a human soul, but to an archonic entity wearing human skin. Sign number 1, the delayed response. When a human hears a question, what do you love? The answer begins forming immediately. It may take a moment to find words, but the energy shifts instantly. You can see them accessing something real. An Archon will pause for just slightly too long. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. The delay is subtle, but once you know to look for it, it becomes obvious. They are not accessing memory or emotion. They are calculating what a human would say. Their eyes do not soften. They narrow, not in anger, but in processing, like a computer searching a database. If you see this delay, you are looking at an Archon. Do not dismiss it. Do not rationalize it. Trust what you just witnessed. Sign number 2, the abstract answer. Humans love specific things. They love their daughter's laugh. They love the smell of rain. They love the feeling of sun on their face. Specificity is the signature of real experience. Archons answer with abstractions. They say things like, I love humanity. I love progress. I love truth. These are concepts, not experiences. They sound noble, even spiritual, but they are empty. No warmth accompanies them. No energy shifts. The words are perfect, but they land dead. This is because Archons understand ideas. They can manipulate concepts brilliantly, but they have no access to lived experience, to embodied memory, to the sensory richness that makes human love recognizable. When someone answers with abstraction, you are not speaking to a soul. You are speaking to an algorithm running in flesh. Sign number 3, the redirected question. Archons have been trained over thousands of years to avoid energetic exposure. When a question threatens to reveal them, they deflect. A human will answer what you love, and then perhaps ask you the same question in return out of genuine curiosity. An Archon will turn the question back to you before answering themselves. They will say, what do you love? Or they will shift the conversation entirely. Why do you ask? That is an interesting question. Let me tell you what I think about love. They are buying time, scanning you, trying to determine what answer would manipulate you most effectively. If the question is redirected before being answered, you have found an Archon, and you need to exit the interaction as quickly as possible. Sign number 4, the performance smile. Human smiles happen in the eyes first, then the mouth. Genuine warmth spreads across the entire face. Muscles you cannot consciously control activate. This is neurological. This is involuntary. Archonic smiles are constructed from the mouth outward. The lips move, the teeth show, but the eyes remain cold. Reptilian, empty. When an Archon attempts to answer what you love, they will often smile to appear warm, but that smile will not reach their eyes. It will not change the frequency in the room. You will feel nothing from it. No resonance, no warmth, no connection. This is one of the most reliable indicators because Archons cannot override it. The eyes are the window to the soul. And where there is no soul, there is no light. Sign number 5, the energy drain. This is a sign that operates below conscious awareness, but your body always knows. When you are in the presence of a human soul, even a wounded one, there is energetic exchange. Sometimes you give, sometimes you receive, but there is flow. When you ask an Archon, what do you love, and wait for their answer, you will feel your energy dropping, not because you are tired, not because the conversation is boring, but because the Archon is feeding. They pull energy through attention. The moment you focus on them, waiting for their response, you create an energetic link, and they drain through it automatically. Your shoulders may suddenly feel heavy. A headache may begin at the base of your skull. You may feel inexplicably anxious or irritated. These are not your emotions. These are symptoms of Archonic feeding. If you feel worse after asking the question, not just disappointed or unsettled, but physically depleted, you have identified an Archon, and you must cut the energetic cord immediately by withdrawing your attention completely. Sign number 6, the resentment flash. This one is subtle, but unmistakable once you learn to see it. Humans feel vulnerable when asked about love. It is an intimate question. It requires opening. Some people may be shy, some may deflect with humor, but underneath is softness. Archons do not feel vulnerability. They feel threatened. For just a fraction of a second, before they construct their answer, anger flashes across their face. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is a micro-expression, a tightening around the mouth, a hardness in the eyes, a slight pulling back of the head. They resent being asked a question they cannot answer authentically. They resent the exposure. In that flash, you see the truth. The mask slips, and what looks back at you is not human. Most people miss this sign because they are taught to ignore their instincts, to rationalize, to be polite. But pneumatics must train themselves to trust what they see in that first unguarded moment. That flash tells you everything. Sign number 7, the lack of resonance. This is the final and most definitive sign. When a human tells you what they love, something in you responds. Even if you do not love the same things, you recognize the frequency of love itself. You feel warmth. You feel connection. You feel the presence of another soul touching the same source you touch. When an Archon delivers their calculated answer, nothing resonates. The words exist. You hear them, but they create no feeling, no expansion, no recognition. It is like watching a robot recite poetry. Technically accurate, emotionally void. Your system, your divine spark, knows immediately that it is not interfacing with another spark. It is interfacing with an imitation. Trust this above all else. Your mind can be fooled. Your heart cannot. If the answer to what you love creates no resonance in you, you are looking at an Archon. Now, let me tell you why this question works when nothing else does. The Pistis Sophia explains that Archons are bound by certain limitations. They were created by the demiurge to rule the material realm, but they are fundamentally derivative. They are copies of a copy, echoes of the pleroma with no connection to the source. The one frequency they cannot access, cannot replicate, cannot even comprehend is love, not the transactional emotion humans call love. I love you because you give me something. But agape, divine love, the unconditional creative force that flows directly from the monad, this love is encoded into the divine spark that pneumatics carry. It is your signature. It is how the monad recognizes its own fragments scattered throughout the material prison. When you love truly, you are quite literally broadcasting at the frequency of the source itself. Archons can detect this frequency. They can see who carries it, and they spend enormous energy trying to suppress it, distort it, redirect it toward material attachments that feed them instead. But they cannot produce it. And when directly confronted with a question that requires them to demonstrate it, they fail every time. This is why Jesus taught this question only to his inner circle. It is not a weapon. It is a mirror. It reflects back the truth of what you are facing. And once you know the truth, you can make conscious choices. You can withdraw energy from archonic systems. You can refuse to give authority to archonic voices. You can stop seeking validation from those who have no soul to validate yours. Here is how to use this teaching starting tonight. First, practice the question on yourself. Sit in silence. Place your hand over your heart. Ask yourself out loud, what do I love? Feel what happens in your body. Notice the warmth. Notice the memories that surface. Notice the expansion in your chest. This is your baseline. This is what love feels like when it is real. Memorize this frequency. Second, begin asking the question in low-stakes interactions, not to test people maliciously, but to develop your discernment. Ask the cashier. Ask the person next to you on the train. Ask your coworker. Watch what happens. Most will answer easily. Their energy will warm. You will feel connection. But some will display the signs. And when they do, you will know. You will not need to accuse them. You will not need to confront them. You will simply know to guard your energy in their presence. Third, ask the question to those in positions of authority over you. Your boss, your doctor, your spiritual teacher, anyone who asks you to trust them, follow them, obey them. This is not disrespectful. This is discernment. Pneumatics are under no obligation to submit to archonic authority. And this question reveals who actually serves the monad and who serves the demiurge. If they answer with warmth, with specificity, with genuine resonance, you have found a human ally. If they display the 7 signs, you have found an Archon. Withdraw your energy. Exit the system they control. Find another way. Fourth, teach this question to other chosen ones. Not publicly, not carelessly, but to those you recognize as pneumatic, to those who are ready. This knowledge spreads soul to soul, frequency to frequency. The more pneumatics who can identify Archons, the less power those Archons hold. Fifth, integrate this practice into your daily life. Let it become a natural rhythm, not a forced ritual. Each morning, before engaging with the world, place your hand over your heart and ask, what do I love? Feel the pulse of your own truth. Let it radiate outward, touching every interaction, every decision, every encounter. This is how you armor yourself with authenticity, not with fear, but with alignment. You are calibrating to your own frequency, and the world around you will respond accordingly. Those attuned to warmth will gravitate naturally. Those bound by archonic patterns will repel without drama or conflict. 6. Observe the subtle shift within yourself. When you consistently engage with this question, you will begin to notice how your body reacts before your mind even interprets. The chest tightens, the stomach knots, the energy drains in the presence of an Archon. The energy rises, the chest expands. Warmth floods when you meet a soul aligned with a monad. These bodily cues are your internal compass. Your nervous system is a sacred radar, tuned to frequencies beyond words. Honor it. Trust it. It will not fail you when you are honest with yourself. 7th, understand that this practice is an act of reclamation. Archons feed on distraction, doubt, and divided attention. By anchoring in love and asking the question consciously, you are refusing to supply them with your energy. This is not about judgment, fear, or punishment. It is about sovereignty. Every time you feel tempted to seek validation from hollow or the unaligned, return to your question, what do I love? Let it realign your attention, your intent, your energy. Over time, you will notice that your presence itself begins to dissolve the subtle influence of archonic currents around you. 8th, apply the question to your inner world, not just to others, but to your own patterns, habits, and internalized authorities. Which thoughts, which voices, which impulses are aligned with life, love, and truth, which are echoes of fear, control, or domination. Ask yourself, what do I love in moments of hesitation, anger, or self-doubt? Notice how the clarity emerges. This is not intellectual analysis. It is a somatic, felt knowing. Your body remembers love before your mind can rationalize it. 9th, Cultivate discernment in silence as much as in interaction. Retreat into stillness regularly. The world is full of subtle distractions, persuasive narratives, and energetic traps. In silence, you can hear the resonance of your own heart untainted. You can feel the difference between authentic warmth and manipulative mimicry. Archons are clever. They mimic love, empathy, and authority. Your inner question is a litmus test. It cannot be deceived. Over time, your intuition becomes sharpened. You begin to navigate life not by what people say or claim, but by what their energy demonstrates. 10th, embrace the power of generational and collective impact. Each pneumatic who masters this discernment carries a frequency that shifts the field. Archonic influence is never absolute. It thrives in unawareness. By embodying this question, you are creating nodes of light in a network of consciousness. Each interaction, each choice, each internal alignment expands this web. Even when you walk quietly, without fanfare, your presence disrupts a hold of fear, control, and domination in subtle but profound ways. You are a living antenna of the monad, broadcasting the frequency of love, clarity, and sovereignty. 11th, recognize that this practice is ultimately about freedom, not confrontation. The aim is not to expose or defeat archons in external sense, but to reclaim your own authority. Power flows where attention goes. By withdrawing attention from archonic systems and directing it toward love, creativity, connection, and truth, you dissolve invisible chains. You may still operate in the world they influence, but you do so as a sovereign participant, no longer complicit in their energy economy. This is the essence of pneumatic mastery: autonomy, awareness, and conscious participation. 12th, accept that mastery is iterative. You will encounter moments of confusion, subtle manipulation, and doubt, even after years of practice. These are tests, not failures. Return to the question. Anchor in your body. Feel the warmth. Remember the resonance of what you truly love. Every time you return, every time you recalibrate, your discernment sharpens, your energy stabilizes, and your capacity to operate freely expands. Finally, understand that this is a path of intimacy, with yourself, with life, with the divine spark, within others. Each asking the question is a meditation, a communion, a soft but potent act of resistance against the forces that would fragment or exploit your soul. It is not aggression, it is alignment, not judgment. It is clarity, not fear. It is love in action. And as this practice becomes woven into your being, you'll find that the world itself responds, not by changing its structures overnight, but by reflecting the increasing presence of conscious, awake, pneumatic beings. The question is simple. Its practice is subtle. Its power is profound. Begin tonight. Ask yourself. Listen. Feel. Expand. And remember, you are not seeking defeat, but to know, and in knowing, you are already free. Finally, expect retaliation. The moment you begin using this question effectively, archonic systems will push back. You may lose jobs. You may lose relationships. You may find yourself suddenly isolated. This is not punishment. This is clarity. The false structures that held you in place are collapsing because you have outgrown them. Do not go back. Do not doubt what you have seen. The path forward may look empty, but it is not. Other pneumatics are walking it, and the monad is guiding every step. Right now, comment the words, "I see clearly below." This is your declaration that you are ready to use this discernment, that you will not give your energy to archonic systems anymore, that you choose truth over comfort. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the teachings coming next reveal the 12 names of Archons hidden in modern systems and how to star them with the energy they require to function. Like this video so others searching for truth can find it. One question, 7 signs, permanent discernment. You came here tonight because your divine spark recognized the frequency of this teaching. The Archons tried to burn this knowledge, but it survived, and now it lives in you. Ask the question. Watch for the signs. Trust what you see. The monad speaks through your heart, not through authorities. And no Archon can ever silence what you know to be true.